charge them and deposit them into the grandstand. He hasn't, he hasn't, he has! What a catch! Edged and gone first ball, second slip takes the catch.
Unbelievable.
Has he got him? He has. Oh, wow. Now, that is some pickup shot.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all-out action all the time. All well coached, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Have ball, catch, drill, try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk. This holiday at Middlesex Cricket.
Well, a very good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Lord's final day of this championship game in Division 2. I'm Kevin Hand. Tino Wilson is alongside me for the live enhanced stream today from Middlesex in association with Daffabet. News is there's a little bit of rain out there at the moment. We'll come to all of that in a moment. So good morning to Dean and catch up on what's been happening in the game so far. But first of all, let's look back. We'll have a look and see what happened on the day. 3 highlights. Everson, the all-rounder. Bill Drummond, the centurion, the skipper. Batting really nicely. Oh, edged away. Only one slip in place. Boundary for Bell Drummond. Carved away that one. Back the point, just has to turn to retrieve it. Lovely shot. Oh, now. Down the track. And going over Mid-on and all the way for 6. Oh, he's got him! Only just, but Brooks holds on at the second attempt. Well, he very nearly shelled it. And a puff of the cheeks tells the story. Phew. That's nicely done. Back on a point. Desperate dive from Holman trying to save the boundary, save himself the chase. Chase on. Brooks won't get there. Edged. A little push at that one, Benjamin. 2 slips in place. And the boundary. Nice shot. That gets through. That's nice from Bill Drummond, up tall. Oh, that steered. It was a thick edge, but he was looking to score off it. A little finer. There it is. 150 up for the Kent captain at Lords. Really turning this game at the moment. The lead 226 and fair turnaround, 21st 4. It's a lovely shot down the ground, 4 more.
It's played beautifully. Brooks is in this one, driving uppishly from Benjamin out to the skipper at mid-off for no run. Benjamin drives handsomely and he's going to get 4. Chase on, let it run away down the hill. Bit of a...
Oh wow. Well, he was challenging inside and outside edge in the last over, Higgins, and this time he goes blasting through, takes the edge out of the equation, thumps into the stumps. Drifts onto the legs. Set away fine. Long leg will just go to collect. Oh, that's a lovely shot by Richards. Goodness me, Bill Drummond would have been happy with that one. Oh, it's flashed. Flashed hard from Richards. Smokes down the ground. Richards is getting a taste for this.
You can judge.
There it goes. Through mid-wicket. 4 more for Richards. Oh, it's away. Oh, frustration for Middlesex. Lead 300.
Rifle, Hughes, etc. Game 2.
Gone. Richards is done. Plays around one. On the floor.
That's so frustrating for Roland Jones and Middlesex. Bill Drummond takes a single.
Got him. Oh, is Parkinson happy with that one? He hangs his head backwards. Was it just frustration as opposed to disappointment with the decision? Bat and pad together. Still looking at the clock, the umpires. But we are going off. 4T. Outside the line of off, a long way. Come through this time. There's the double century for Daniel Bell Drummond at Lords. 342 deliveries. He might just have turned the game for his side here as well. Off comes the helmet and up will go the bat. 23 fours, 505 minutes, but 200 runs.
Team's going with double spin.
Oh, he's bowled him round his legs. Garrett steps too far across. They're 9 down, Kent. Down the track he goes, over the top. There it is.
Just like that.
Keep going. Oh, now this is big. It's very big, all the way from Daniel Bell-Drummond. Zafar Gohar watches it sail over his head. Uppercut. Field had just come up. Eskenazi's underneath it, and he will take the ball and keep walking back to the pavilion. That's the end of Daniel Bell-Drummond. A brilliant, brilliant innings by the Kent skipper. Sam Robson back in the sides. Could be a first boundary, and it is. Leg side again. Not ball there to anyone, but especially not Sam Robson. Oh wow, what a ball! Robson's gone! Gone for 9. Garrett strikes. It's taken just 11 deliveries, and they've removed one of the biggest wickets in the Middlesex lineup. Lovely shot that. There's a nice shot. Talking of putting pressure back on Eskenazi. Short and punished. The welcome boundary for Middlesex. That's a lovely shot. Strokes away. That's hooked away. And that's 50 up for Middlesex. Shot. Lovely shot by Holden. Width. Edged. Ooh. 4 more. Oh wow. Holden can't believe it. Hangs his head in disbelief that that one's got through. Good that. Look at that. Up to the bowler's bar. By a few. Edged and gone. Third slip with the catch. Crawley rolls in front of second. Oh, nice way to finish up. Bowling from the nursery end from Holman. And steer into the offside for a single for Holman. Well played, Luke Holman. End of the third day. Middlesex need another 284. They've lost a night watch. So that was day 3. Day 4, that's the picture at the moment. Covers partially on. They haven't rolled out the rest of the big ones, so it's touch and go here at the moment. Umpires have just walked on. They're walking off. We'll see what comes of that in just a moment while we wait to find out what the news is from the middle. Let's hear what Tim Murtagh had to say overnight.
Tim Murtagh, thanks for coming out and joining us at the end of day 3 here. Tim, I guess safe to say a difficult day. Plans were in place this morning, didn't reach fruition obviously. Was it a day where Kent deserved what they got and batted well, or would you criticise the bowling at all?
I think I wouldn't criticise the bowling because I've been in that position before. I know what it feels like when you've had a day like that. Credit to Bell-Drummond, as I said earlier, sort of the ball went past the bat a lot, but the focus that he had to kind of put that to the back of his mind and keep going was really impressive. We felt a bit unlucky at different times during the day, whether that be decisions against us or balls going past the bat, as I've said. So I was proud of the way they stuck together as a group, but obviously I'm not going to stand here and say we've had a good day and we're in the position we want to be, because we're not. And we've got our backs up against the wall, and we need to come out tomorrow and show as much fight as we can and prove that there's still life left in this game for us.
Does it make it all the more frustrating that we obviously bowled Kent out for 129 in the first innings, and here we are finding ourselves in this position needing to bat to save the day on day 4?
Yeah, of course that makes it more frustrating. It was as well as we bowled as a group in that first innings, that's the kind of blueprint we're looking for as a unit. And then to get ourselves, we're 140 odd for 4, as you say, that first day, really kind of driving the game. But I think to lose 6 wickets in that first session rested the momentum back towards them. And then, as I said, we perhaps didn't bowl as well as we would have liked yesterday afternoon, and that led us to be in the position that we are today. But it is what it is, and we've got to come out tomorrow and, as I say, show some heart, show some guts, put the pressure back on them, and see where that gets us.
As you say, the ball's been going past the bat all day, and it's done so for the previous 2 days. Was there any thinking that seam was the way to go? Because it seemed surprising that Luke Holman had to wait 120 overs in this innings to get a turn.
Yeah, I think so. It's difficult. I've been there as a captain myself as well. You kind of, as a bowler, you're tired from the bowling. There's a lot of things happening in the game. It's not easy to make sort of clear decisions, or decisions that would appear clear to people watching. So no, as we said, the ball was nipping around all day, and we just felt that, I think, well, Toby would have felt that, seamers were our best chance of getting wickets at that point. Zaf, who's a very good bowler, didn't quite get the same assistance that the seamers were. So, there's always something to learn from these days and from these games that we can take into the next game. So we'll certainly kind of review it as a bowling unit, as a fielding unit, and a batting unit at the end of the game, and see where that takes us leading into Leicester.
I mean, not one of our bowlers has gone around the park here today. I think the worst economy rate of all of them was 4 and over, so it's not like it's been flying off the bat. Is it just a wicket where if you get set as a batter, you've got to really get out?
Maybe, but I think they, as I said, they rode their luck well. They put that to the back of their minds and almost started again each time the ball went past the bat. So we've got to give some credit to their batsmen. But as I said before, it's still sort of, the emotions are still high with it at the moment. But we'll sit down, when those are taken out of the equation, and chat as a group. And they're really honest. We had a chat before the day's play today about what happened yesterday and how we could, learn and improve on today. So we'll do the same at the end of the game.
Absolutely. I suppose credit where it's due. You mentioned the great knock from Daniel Bell-Drummond. He got 223 here today. I suppose, if anything, does that give you some hope that if one of the batters gets set tomorrow, they can go big themselves? Yeah,
I think it's shown the blueprint how to play on this pitch. And as I said, you're going to have to ride your luck at times, because as we've seen tonight, the ball's still moving. There's still assistance, especially for the seamers in this pitch. So someone's going to have to play out their skin tomorrow, but that's what we're looking for.
Absolutely. Well, Mertz, thanks for coming out to join us, and good luck tomorrow.
Cheers, thanks.
Tim Mercer there. Good news is the covers are coming off. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, play to resume at 11:10. I'm Kevin Hand, bringing you the live enhanced stream from this one at Lords with Dean Wilson. Dean, I reckon actually for Middlesex they'll want to get out there and get started on this rather than hanging around. And 3 sessions, it's 280 to win. They have a chance of winning this game, but you lose a lot of time from the day, and actually that can work against them.
Yeah, good morning, Kev. Good morning, everyone. You're right. I think the fact that this minor rain delay is only going to spoil things for 10 minutes is a good news for Middlesex, because they do have a chance. Of course they do. The run rate at the moment they're set is not too taxing, and we've seen runs scored at a fairly decent rate throughout this game. But of course the real concern from their point of view is those 7 wickets in the hutch, which Kent are going to be hunting down to try and get the win that they want. So it is one of those sort of stick or twist situations. But I think for as far as Middlesex is concerned, just trying to bat normally, without too many risks in this first session or two, and see where they're up to. Stay in the game, I guess, as they approach tea if they can.
Absolutely. For Kent, obviously, they just want to get out there and get a full day themselves. They'll be very confident of picking up 7 wickets and winning this one. The pressure that will be on the hosts in the chase. You can see the skyline in the background there. Just a quick weather warning on it all. I think we're all right. 10 past 11. There are showers around today, but that shower that's just blown in now is quite literally 10 minutes, quite light. They didn't get all of the covers on, as you saw at the start. Right, so we're going to take a short break here on the stream. When we come back, that hover cover will be off, and well, you can see the warm-ups have begun already with Joey Everson on the left of the screen there, practicing his bowling. So hopefully, once you're back with us after the ad break, we'll have some action pretty imminently here at Lord's, the live enhanced stream in association with Daffabet. Or charge them and deposit them into the grandstand. He hasn't. He hasn't. He has. What a catch. Edge and gone first ball. Second slip takes the catch.
Unbelievable.
Has he got him? He has. Oh, wow. Now, that is some pickup shot.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all out action. All the time. All are welcome, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Tap, ball, catch, throw, try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk.
This holiday at Dynamo's Cricket.
Well, a very good morning once again, and welcome back to Lords. That slight rain delay just causing a little bit of a wait here, only 10 minutes, but out come the batters. Ready to go, Luke Holman and Stephen Eskenazi, a makeshift opener at the moment, and a makeshift number 4, although I don't think either of them will argue for one moment with the positions that they have got. A very happy Kent side. They've already picked up one victory against Middlesex, a 3-day win down at Canterbury, and now looking to make it 2 from 2 within the space of a few weeks as well. There's a big smile on Zach Crawley's face. They'll be very keen for a couple of early wickets this morning and get in amongst what remains of the Middlesex middle order. No Leas deploy for this one, so Luke Holman's the number 4 for Middlesex in this game. 81 for 3. They still require 284 more runs to win, that after a magnificent double ton from Daniel Bell Drummond. Right, it's going to be Garrett from the nursery end to get us going this morning. One for 18 from 8. Luke Holman 6 from 8. The night watch. Henry Brooks out there for a little while, but a tricky little passage for Holman to navigate. He did yesterday evening. Eskenazi on 16. It will be quite the performance if Middlesex do pull this off today, I reckon, under cloudy skies. As you can see, there's still some darker stuff in the distance. That's probably going to blow off towards the south, just looking to the north where it's coming on a little bit more over the top of the grandstand there that you can't quite see. It's breaking up a little bit more. That'll be good news for Middlesex. They clearly want some glorious sunshine for this one. 3 slips in place, backward point, covering a mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket and long leg. And Garrett it is from the nursery end to get day 4 underway. Nice start, nice shape, nice leave for Luke Holman. Nice to have Dean Wilson back alongside me in the commentary box as well. Dean, it's a big task for Middlesex today. I think when we were together on day 2, we were talking about anything over 2:30 is always a tricky chase.
Yeah, absolutely. Quite a stiff target in the end for Middlesex to try and chase, and certainly just watching the teams warming up before the start of play, you could see the confidence and the enthusiasm in the Kent camp as they were going through their paces, getting the bodies warm and ready for action. They'll certainly be confident of taking these 7 wickets today.
Oh, slapped hard by Holman. Stand and deliver drive that straight to Compton at point.
You could see the players when they were going through their warm-ups, the Kent boys were just full of smiles, full of energy. In the day 4 sometimes the bodies can be feeling a little tired and a little weary, but the position that they're in, they know they've got one more day full of effort, and the rewards at the end of it could be substantial.
Well, a dabble from Holman, angle bat, soft hands. It was finer than certainly he'd have liked, but into the ground he played it, and he'll pick up the first runs of the final day.
Yeah, nicely controlled that by Holman. There are 3 slips in place, so got to be slightly mindful looking to run it away down there, but all along the ground, played into the ground by Holman. Good control. Picks up the first boundary of the morning.
2 flags above the pavilion blowing in opposite directions, which is just I'm sure I see that was coming back around, but there were. A little bit of sunshine breaking through. Would you look at that? Well, couldn't quite predict that just a few moments ago. Certainly 10-15 minutes ago when we were worried as that rain started to fall. You never quite know. It never looked as though there was particularly enough storm clouds around to delay us for long, but cricket is as hard to judge as the weather, isn't it? Good leave again from Holman. Didn't get much of a look with the ball, Holman. Benjamin, he's had a fair old look behind the stumps. There's been swing, there's been seam. But there have clearly been runs in this pitch as well. Middlesex will be kicking themselves for that second morning. 6 wickets falling on the second morning, and well, they can't afford anything like that on the final morning. They need a stark contrast with how the second day began. Top ball to finish. 4 off the first over. So Holman's on to 10. Eskenazi will have strike on 16. Middlesex 85 for 3.
Yeah, good start there from Luke Holman. Looked rather secure around his off stump, which is always a good thing, trying to get those feet moving nice and early. Make sure he get bat on the ball on the middle of the bat, which he did, to pick up a boundary down to third man. Really big chance for Luke Holman this game, playing his first championship match of the season. Got 42 in the first innings. Batted quite nicely, but didn't quite manage to go on. Big chance for him, plenty of time to bat here today. Obviously seeing how Daniel Bell-Drummond went about his business over the previous couple of days. You're right, Kev, there's runs to be had there. So really good chance here for this Middlesex pair.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. Well, Middlesex with a round off next week. Where Lewis deployed to return to the side for the Leicestershire match here, then arguably it'll be one of these two that will be under threat to miss out. Joey Everson from the pavilion end. 3 slips. Keeper standing up as he was for Max Holden. Kept him tight in his crease, Holden. Bowled by Everson for 38. Middlesex's form batter, that was a really, really big wicket. It was Eskenazi and Holden at Derbyshire that set up that final day. Middlesex 0 for 1 following on a big 160 stand. It's a lovely shot from Eskenazi. Much rain's fallen. It's up the hill all the way. He hasn't gone fully through with it either, so Cash Valley will flick that one back in and they'll take 2. In fact, are they back for a 3rd? They are. Good run him. Short boundary over there.
Nice confident looking shot there, playing the ball right under his eyes all along the ground. Always want to feel one out of the middle nice and early.
Bright skies at Lords at the moment. Over the bracket of the grandstand, there's pretty grey skies now, but again in the distance it looks alright. Will be very keen on a full day here. Be very confident and putting pressure on this Middlesex side. They'll all be reminded about the 6 wickets on the second morning out there right now, I'm sure.
Kent very much on the attack. 3 slips in. They've all just taken a step forward. Maybe just waiting for Everson to really find his rhythm.
He's a good player, Everson. Brought in from Notts. Would have been part of this side, as would Kashif Ali there. But they'd have gone with 4 seamers. Had everybody been fit properly, they would. But obviously missing a couple of names, big names at the moment. Shed of lights for this fixture, but they've got decent resources clearly in the bowling attack. That's away by Holman. He's a positive player, Luke Holman, and he looks full of confidence out there at the moment. It has to be said. They're turning for a 3rd, big old boundary. That's below old Father Time.
Yeah, another nice looking shot there from Holman, going through with the cover drive. That's what Joey Everson wants to see from the batter. That's what he's trying to give the ball a chance to swing in the air, bring those 3 slips into play. That will present scoring opportunities for Holman and Eskenazi, as long as they're looking for them, and that's very much the sign so far. They're looking to score when they can, and I think that'll be the key. Middlesex here just trying to bat normally, take the runs when they're on offer. There is space out there in the field.
Single for Holman, start the over, nice 2 for 3. Yeah, the match at Derbyshire that final day, Middlesex has taken it, was, even if they'd have got the 8 runs, you know, they just expected, right, we're going to have to bat a long time, bat out the game, it'll be a draw. Not quite hanging on for dear life, that flag is up above the away dressing room. It's being fully tested by the wind at the moment. Blustery conditions, the temperatures have dropped sharply today. Middlesex will hope that they're not hanging on for dear life later today. But yeah, their take was on the 3rd evening. They just thought that you're going to have to battle the 3rd day, you're going to have to battle the 4th day. It should be a comfortable draw, and that's what they were making it in the end anyway, even though they were following on short of that reply by 8 runs, just shy of the follow-on. 472 Derbyshire had racked up. 473 by Kent in their 2nd innings. Middlesex with a chance of winning it on the final day, but big chance for Kent as well if they can get a couple of early wickets. They know that. Worth reminding everybody that one of the 3 wickets to go was the night watch. Henry Brooks caught Crawley, bowled Everson, gone for 10. Good job of helping see Eskenazi through to the close. Couldn't quite get through to this morning. Blake Cullen, his night watch at Derbyshire, managed to find 40 coming out the next day. They'd have dearly loved that from Brooks to give them a start today, but what it does do is push Roland Jones down to number 10 in the lineup, but clearly Middlesex will hope that they don't need to go that far. Guess having taken 92 out of this target of 365, 273 more to win. One of the batters out, what was the night watch, genuine number 10, they really wouldn't have been looking for Brooks for runs later in this innings to win the match. So if you were to say, look, 273 is the target, you got 8 wickets effectively, you know, if you given circumstance now, it's a nice 2 for 2. It's not beyond the realms of possibility at all for Middlesex to win this one. Outside. Early shake of the head from umpire Bailey. They've taken a lot of convincing in this game, the umpires.
That ball just nipping back in towards Eskenazi's pads with the angle. Looks like that's going down, and as you rightly say, Kev, the umpires have wanted to be very strongly convinced before putting up their finger in this game, and that's still very much the case.
Dot ball to in the over. Good over from Garrett, just a single off it. He has one for 23 from 10. Middlesex 32 overs into the final innings of this match. The chase there, 92 for 3.
Yeah, loud appeal there from the Kent cordon. I'm not sure they were hugely convinced, but just like batters wanting to get something out the middle early on, you want to try and clear the vocal cords nice and early, get a strong appeal in, get into the game in whichever way you can. But those three slip fielders will be hoping for a bit of action from the moving ball of Joey Everson.
It's like you and I warming up the vocal cords earlier, Dino.
Yeah, we should have had a little chorus of appeal to really get us going.
We're like half of a barbershop quartet, weren't we? At least I think that's what they were saying to us. Maybe they were telling us to get a haircut.
Luke Holman, as I say, playing in his first championship match of the season. He's been in reasonable form for the Middlesex second 11 this season. He got a big 100 against Somerset down in Taunton earlier, middle of April. Got 160 not out. Opening the batting alongside Josh De Caires. And a couple of other 50s as well. Got 88 against Surrey second 11. So he has scored a few runs, but this is his first appearance in the championship, and as I say, he's got a fantastic opportunity here to build an innings, enjoy his time out there in the middle. He's looked nice and organised so far. They're going to bring out one of those slips already, so it's a minor victory maybe for the batter, just to see one of those slips taken out. Zach Crawley's gone into a sort of a short-tish cover, so still looking for a catch, maybe from a mistimed stroke from Holman.
Good leave. Just outside off stump. Keeper stand up. Benjamin doing a fine job. 92 for 3. There's the other half of the barbershop quartet on the right hand side there, giving us a wave. One man that definitely doesn't need a haircut though. Got Thorpe laughing. First one of the match. Well run. Quick single, right-handed, left-handed combination. Talks about not being the first choice. Kensington, it's still a very good attack. But just all the little things you can do. There's the home line-up, unsettle them, right hand, left hand, round the wicket, over the wicket. Of course, the bowlers have to deal with the slope as well. Silly mid-on coming into place. 3 slips, and that silly mid-on now just in front of Eskenazi on striker's end. There's Richards in the background. How much of a go he'll get with the ball today? Tough time of it in the first inning. Started well in the second dig, but just tailed off a bit in his spell. But with the bat, wonderful partnership, near a century stand with Bell Drummond, which helped set up a very good match position for Kent, having been in real trouble, having won the toss and 129 all out.
I think with Adam Hollyoake in the dressing room, even if you get bowled out for 129, the positive approach, the positive attitude will still very much be there. He knows only one way to operate, and the way the captain has helped turn things around really reinforces the messages that I'm sure he's been giving them. Now it's Middlesex's turn to try and do something similar.
Yeah, it's the second time this season that Kent have been able to turn a match on Middlesex, so it's only day 7 of the game. There's only 3 days down at Canterbury, but final day of the second match against Kent, home game, that's surely what they'll have in mind. Look, you don't want to go 2 from 2 against Kent in the first couple of months of the season, first few rounds, and also 2 from 2 where they've turned the game on both occasions. Middlesex, I think it'll be quite the morale boost. It's not that they particularly need it, but if they were able to turn this one back themselves.
I think the fact that Middlesex have seen how Kent have been able to shift the momentum of both games so convincingly is something that they can certainly take a leaf out of that book. And that run chase by Kent, 2 down, well, Middlesex can't do it 2 down here, but they've certainly got an opportunity to do something similar to Kent this afternoon.
As I said, they won't want to go all the way down to Toby Rowland-Jones at 10, but they're going to have to put that wickets column out of the equation a little bit, aren't they? With Zafar Gohar as a number 9 now because of the night watch. Jack Davies at 8. There's a lot of batting to come. The next 2, very, very big wickets. Ryan Higgins, Player of the Year for the last couple of years, and Middlesex have relied heavily on his runs. And Ben Geddes, who's been racking up the 50s, but yet to get the big one. Oh, wow. Did that come out of the gloves? Edged it onto the thigh of the keeper. I'll tell you what, it was a good edge though, wasn't it? It was going to be plumb LBW or bowled. Keeper was following the ball on that line as a result.
Good edge there from Eskenazi's bat. Obviously moves far too quickly for the keeper to do anything about it.
Is it definitely bat that it's hit? Down the ground it goes from Eskenazi. My eyes need to warm up. I was wondering whether there was a bit of pad involved as well.
the only hope there for Kent really was that if Benjamin's right leg hadn't got in the way really, and maybe a chance that could have gone through to the slips. Otherwise, as it was, no real chance for a wicket.
Yeah, fully agreed. That's my thought on that as well, that keeper standing up, it obviously keeps the batter in his crease, but if a chance comes, then obviously bring your percentage chance down. That chance, one for the keeper, might pop out the gloves, or as you say, that's probably would have been Slip's catch, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and just an indication as well that there's still something in this pitch for the bowlers.
So Richards coming around on the slide.
There's been sideways movement off the surface throughout this game, and for a bowler like Everson operating from the pavilion end, if he can get that ball just to hold its line going up the slope even, that's a real danger.
Inside edge in play on that one. That was the first ball of the over that's pretty much done that to Eskenazi last ball as he falls over it slightly, just smothering that ball. Movement out there as we've seen all game long. 93 for 5. Here was that edge. Keeps done well not to rub it.
The pain all internal with that one. Second slip with both hands on his head. They know they're going to get chances here, Kent.
That's nicely steered again. Got one of those away earlier, didn't he, which went much finer, just wide of third. Slip this one much thicker part of the bat and doesn't get away at the same pace. It's just the single taken. Lovely conditions out there now. Sweater coming off. Shot from Eskenazi just as far as mid-on. Ooh, ouch. Kashif Ali.
Slip coming out again for Garrett now, back into that silly mid-on catching position. Bowling wicket to wicket, giving him a chance of making inroads from either half of the bat. Two slips still there. But if anything pops up on the leg side, hopes that Zach Crawley can gobble it up.
You see that grey stuff on the distance there on the wide shot over the back of the Warner stand. Fortunately, that would have a chance of hitting us usually, but fortunately that's going the other way. You do not want that. I'm sure Middlesex don't either. 98 for 3. They do have a chance. This partnership's only worth 24. But it's a start. Pretty weighing it up today. If Middlesex could get to lunch 3 down, then they're in with a chance. 80 runs a session. They'll be close. I think it's all going to be about one particular partnership, but also one particular innings. A bit like Bell Drummond. Someone's going to have to stick their hand up.
Who's going to stick their hands up? Maybe Stevie Eskenazi. Thinks it might be him. Still looking for his first big contribution of this season.
Yeah, and he wasn't given the nod at the start either. It was Nathan Fernandez that was opening up with Robson. It was only the arrival of Little Sam that gave Eskenazi the chance to go up and open with Robson on paternity leave.
Yeah, he's got starts in each of his innings so far. A couple of 50s against Kent and against Derbyshire, both coming in the second innings.
Targeting the stumps here, aren't they, this morning? Very full, very straight. You can see that in the field placing as well. 98 for 3.
Yeah, they have been targeting the stumps and having a field to kind of reflect that. As I say, there's the short catcher on the leg side as well as the slips. But I like the way that both Holman and Eskenazi have gone about things so far. They both look particularly solid. Just the one, not even a half chance really you'd call it, when Eskenazi edged Everson straight into the thigh of Benjamin, the wicketkeeper, standing up. But apart from that, both batters have looked very much in control, very watchful, leaving well, just trying to get themselves into the game this morning.
Look at the sunshine at Lord's. There was that grey sky that we're mentioning in the background, and don't adjust your screens, that is indeed a heavy, heavy band of rain and cloud that is blowing across the north of London, heading towards the west. The planes in the distance are taking off into that cloud. It's usually a descent in over Lords to Heathrow, but the wind going the other way now, so planes are taking off over Lords, taking off into that cloud. A bumpy ride up there. Middlesex will hope for a smooth ride down below.
Well, Holman failing to launch there. Short ball from Everson, tried to put it away towards the shorter boundary on the leg side, didn't get hold of it. And when those opportunities come along, Middlesex will want to try and make sure they do score off them. They don't want to just go nowhere this morning.
Fingertips to it. Seen it a few times in this game, batters having to get their bat back into the ground.
$100 up for Middlesex then. 100 for 3. And another 265 required. So a long way to go. But the sun is shining. And we have seen over the course of this game that when the sun has come out, it has favoured the batters. But there's always been a little something in this surface for the seam bowlers in particular. was thinking back to that second day when Kent began their innings, their second innings. Crawley and Compton. Compton was dismissed quite early to bring Daniel Bell-Drummond to the middle, and Crawley and Bell-Drummond put on a very decent partnership, but a feature of the way that they played at the start of the innings was quite similar to the way these two are going about it, just defending strongly, leaving anything they didn't have to get involved in, but when the loose ball did arrive, they made sure that they cashed in, they made sure that they kept the scoreboard ticking over, and actually it was a curious kind of tempo because they were scoring at well over 4 runs and over, and yet doing so in a seemingly quite solid fashion, and just, as I say, taking advantage of the loose balls when they arrived. And I think that's what Eskenazi and Holman will want to do here today. They've looked really secure in their defence so far, but whenever that opportunity to score comes along, they've really got to take it, otherwise they'll just be increasing the pressure on them on a day when the pressure's already there.
Kashif Ali from the nursery end, right onto the spot against Eskenazi. 40 minutes into the morning session of the final day. Your point about the sun there as well, you can see over the back of the media centre. That's certainly, if you go by the flags, it's not always the case. You follow exactly the line of the where the wind's blowing down at ground level here, but if you go by the flags, it's right over the top of us that it's coming in from, and it looks all right over there. I showed you over the back of the Warner, that looks rough, but that should not disturb us, and the bit over the back of the grandstand shouldn't disturb us either. You can steer up towards that grandstand, Eskenazi, top ball. All smiles still for Kent. And Middlesex would love a wicketless first hour, 100 for 3 with a night watch. I don't know if you'd potentially said to Middlesex start of the innings, right, you've got a big chase here, 365, you're 100 for 2 after an hour of the final day, 265 more to get. You've got a couple of relatively well set batters. It might be a position that they think about saying, yeah, we'll take that, 265 more. Still the numbers 5 and 6 to come, the wicket keeper. Right, they're all batting 1 down because of the night watch, but nonetheless it's still that powerful middle order. But Eskenazi, 96 balls faced, he'll be so keen to take this on now. The other factor is 86 overs left today. It's a long way before a second new ball if Kent don't make the most of this morning. Side and high.
You make a very good point there about the ball, Kev. 37 overs old now, and so you'd think just getting more and more into that phase which should favour the batting side. I think a real key as well to this day's play from a Middlesex point of view is just not to give Kent any enthusiasm, any inspiration early on, and get the momentum of the game going their way. Really don't want to get their tails up.
That is a very, very good shot from Luke Holman. Stands up tall to it, punches in front of point.
Yeah, that's a lovely looking shot. Just a bit too short there from Kashif Ali. The ball actually coming back in to Holman, but it was short enough that he could get right on the top of the bounce and punch it through the offside for 4. Good looking stroke there. And that's the point really for this Middlesex pair, to try and take advantage of those opportunities. They've only scored 2 boundaries so far in the first 40 minutes or so, both to Holman, one guided down towards third man, but that one a much more positive stroke through the offside, and it just keeps the bowlers honest really. It doesn't allow them just to get away with anything, just sitting on a length. If there's any mistakes, you've got to try and put them away. So that's a good stroke from Holman there. Stevie Eskenazi looking very solid, but yet to find the boundary himself this morning.
Good point. It's not 40 minutes, of course. Also, that changed because it was only half an hour, wasn't it? 10 minutes late with the start this morning. So we're coming up for 40 minutes play now on the final day. Only a couple of overs lost on the day. I was making the point at the start that I just felt if a Middlesex session was lost in this game, that probably loses the chance for them to win it. But with it in turn, it just increased the pressure on the fact that only one side could win at that point. But a nice picture forming at Lord's in this morning's session, not just the sunshine. Middlesex's position in the match just looking a little bit better after 40 minutes or so. Still a long, long way to go. Kent are there or thereabouts, aren't they? 2.7 the run rate. I think the required will ever concern Middlesex unless the weather does come in significantly at some stage.
I always like looking at the field and looking to see how they're interacting and geeing each other up out there. And sort of that early enthusiasm just starting to wane, maybe a touch. It's, even though the sun is shining at times, it's still pretty chilly out there. Fair few hands tucked into pockets or under armpits to stay warm.
Nicely steered. Take a couple. Yeah, there are plenty of smiles out there this morning, wasn't there, for Kent? And there still are. But they will gradually become a little bit more pensive, won't they, longer this partnership goes on. It's only worth 33 at the moment, but Eskenazi's 102 balls faced, I think, is also a significant part. They'll know how big a wicket he is now. He's getting himself in on this surface. What he'll know as well is he may well be getting himself back into this championship side. It's been a bit of a battle the last few years for Eskenazi. Nailed down in white ball, but lost his place as a regular part of the Middlesex top order. 107 for 3.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down time of it for Stevie Eskenazi in first class cricket. Had a rotten 2023. And really from there it's been tough for him to keep his place in this Middlesex side.
Thick inside edge on that.
just the 5 first-class matches for Eskenazi last summer. Top score of 65. Just a pair of 50s between 2023 and 2024. So already he's managed to get 2 this season, so things improving. He's averaging nearly 40, but he's still looking for that big score that all top order batters want, making that telling contribution, and he's got a chance now.
Well, it is a game within a game out there for Holman and Eskenazi, because you'd assume Deploy will be back for the Leicestershire game. Middlesex with the next round off, so a week Friday Leicestershire arrive at Lords. The big name will come straight back in if he is available. Of that top order at the moment, it's hard to see where he'd squeeze in, but for one of these two. Now if it were to be Eskenazi, of course, then I guess that means Max Holden goes up. 42 in the first innings here. Look good, look confident. Does again here. Very popular player as well, I think. Teammates and fans of Middlesex.
Yeah, he's played a lot of cricket now, Max Holden. Nearly 100 first-class games. He's got a couple of scores already this season. Started the season with that big 100 against Lancashire in the second innings, 184. Perfect way to start any season. But he backed that up with 100 against Glamorgan and 94 against Derbyshire. So he's in strong form. It's why he has been named in the PCA Team of the Month for April.
So to that one, he had to. A bit of bite in that from Cash Valley. Good over. Maiden for Cashy Valley, 108 for 3.
And he would have fancied going on here, but dismissed for 38 by Joey Everson.
I guess what you also wouldn't want to push him up. He's doing so well at number 3 at the moment that you don't want to dislodge him. You don't want to unsettle him by pushing him up to an opening slot, which is where he began for Middlesex. He was always an opening bat, England under-19 captain. All that's come though, plenty still to happen today. First thing to happen at the pavilion end, first change to happen, is a bit of spin. It's going to be Parkinson, and this is what he's got to bowl at. So this is this morning. Look at the footmarks there. So that's the top end where he's bowling from. There's also leaning as well, the off spinner. You can see on that first evening, it's got a bit of turn and bounce. You can see outside the leg stump as it is for Eskenazi at the moment will be something for Parkinson to have a look at against Holman. And he got Holman in the first dig, of course, with that ball that went straight across the left-hander. It's pushed at one, nick through. Bit of a stride in, there's a hand signal from Eskenazi. to what he thought.
Huge inside edge there. Don't let that disturb the appeal though.
Drives that square. It was a very distinctive Eskenazi effort, wasn't it? But you felt for a moment there was a chance he could have hit that up. But a turn up the slope. Luke Holman at the non-striker's end. Will have a keen eye on it. Something's got Parkinson laughing. There's still smiles at the moment.
Nice start that there for Matt Parkinson. He had the two slips in, the leg slip and the normal slip. I do wonder whether he might have wanted to put someone close catching as well. It's sort of playing the two sides of the coin there. They're giving him that protection with the fielders out, one out on the deep cover boundary, another a deep backward square leg, which is understandable. I just think they might be able to bring one of their ring fielders in catching as well early on, because there's always going to be that little bit of nervousness when a spinner comes on, and if anything pops up you want to make sure that you take advantage. But good start from Parkinson, a little bit of turn, and he could have a big part to play here on the final day of this championship match. 3 slips have gone back in then for Kashif Ali. But it's going to have to be something quite special, I think. The right arm round the wicket to the left-hander, trying to get the ball moving up the slope to get those slips into play. It's asking an awful lot from the bowler, but that's what the plan is. Although maybe they are listening to us because they've just pulled one of those slip fielders out and put him into a shortish mid-wicket, and that's a reasonable decision, I think, just with the angle that Kashif Ali is bowling from the nursery end down the slope round the wicket.
Jack leading there. There you go. Second slip. What's he saying? Is he waving up to mid on? Can't quite get his attention. Parkinson up there. Will it go? I don't think so. Richards is quick. Scoops it back in before leaning, retreating from second. I'll take a couple. He's got Parkinson's attention, whatever it is, and he's off to tell Kashif Ali what leading said.
I think he wants to test out the middle of this surface. They've put the man back at deep square leg, so maybe some short tactics here.
There we go. So Beltram's off again at the moment. Mieye at slip. Leaning at second. Backward point Richards. Covers Compton. Mid-off. It's Crawley. Mid-on Parkinson. My apologies. Crawley's mid-wicket. Mid-off's Garrett. Long leg is Everson. That's a lovely shot by Holman. Taps the bat down. Looking in good touch at the moment. Middlesex is newly promoted number 4.
Well, he's played a couple of shots like this so far this morning. That one, perhaps the best of the lot. He certainly liked it, holding the pose. And well he might, right on the top of the bounce. 4 from the moment he hit it.
Look at that go. That has done, well, it's wide first of all, which is a good thing for Middlesex. But he got drawn into that.
Holman trying to suggest that he just played inside the line there, but the bowler will know that he had a little nibble. But the ball moving just a touch up the slope there.
I mean, actually, it's probably a significant note that we're touching on that now, because there was a lot of movement still yesterday off the surface. Not noting it as much today.
So Parkinson continues then. He's still got those 2 slips in, but as I say, I just wonder whether it's worth trying to get a catcher in front of square as well. So that catcher in front of square coming in now after all, but it's the leg slip that's been taken out. I think that's a good move from Jack Leaning and Matt Parkinson.
Through the legs.
Keep that player in at short leg. He stays on the same side, but with the left-hander it becomes a short leg position, and Parkinson hoping to turn the ball up the slope, catch the inside edge, get him in the game.
First look at Holman for Parkinson. Bobbles away off Crawley to mid-on. Turn there, it's hitting a long way outside off stump. He's playing a shot, but eternal interest Parkinson put something in Holman's mind. Just starts a little bit too straight on that one. Single to end the over, 115 for 3.
Yeah, that's well played by Holman. He's seen just how much that ball has turned out of the footmarks there from Parkinson. So no real issue in terms of the LBW, but being able to get down and smother that spin with the sweep is the right tactic. There is protection out in the deep for Parkinson, but just a signal of how much the ball is gripping in those footmarks.
Mentioned tight haircuts. Blake Cullen's had a trim, pretty tight one as well.
Streamlined for running those drinks and gloves on and off the pitch, Blake Cullen.
Clearly thought he was playing in this game, didn't he? Went and got a haircut. And Bothard saved it for the next one.
So 34 runs Middlesex have scored in the first hour this morning, but crucially from their point of view no wickets have fallen, which is exactly what they wanted.
Winds causing a bit of problem at the pavilion ends. Two of them up there now. Look how many ground staff sits. Hate to pin down the covers. They were blown away a moment ago. So just stay there, sit on them. Ooh, that straightened slightly.
Good bowling from Kashif Ali. He knows that Holman is eyeing up that offside. He's played a couple of strong shots through there off the back foot. He's just trying to get those two slips and a gully interested. There's also a man on the deep backward square leg boundary. Good maiden there on Kashif Ali. Just giving Holman no room to free those hands as he has done a couple of times already. But it's this contest now between Parkinson and Eskenazi that is interesting. They keep playing with this field a little bit. The man in front of square now gone back into leg slip, so they're not quite sure where they're going to be able to get this wicket.
Target to win drops below 250. Required amount drops below 250. Taking those foot marks. He's smiling. He'll feel in the game for sure. He's got Holman once. Holman will be determined not to get out to him again in the same game. Oh! Single for Holman, but hands on head for Parkinson. Dangerous going back there with those foot marks.
Yeah, it's all about picking the length. I think he probably could have been forward to that one.
Bit of width for Eskenazi. Just a single with the sweeper back. End of the over, just 3 singles off at 118 for 3.
Really enjoying watching Parkinson go about his work. He has got something to work with just outside the left-hander's off stump. Wants to just be kind of probing away in that area. Give Holman something to think about, whether to stay back in his crease as he did previously, or whether he might try and come out and smother it. There's lots of space in front of square on the offside, so Holman could really get himself out and cover it up. A nice little contest between those two developing.
Oh, edged. Just the 2 slips in place, no deep third. Eskenazi moves into the 30s. First boundary of the day.
Not a huge amount of control there from Eskenazi. He does open the face to run it away, but I don't think he was looking for it to go that fine and just wide of the diving second slip. I think the bowler will be a little happier with that than the batter, but it's 4 runs nevertheless.
That one he runs. Run it away for 4. It brings up the 50 partnership for the 4th wicket. 52 put on by this pair. And those couple of boundaries bring Eskenazi up to speed with Holman.
Again, genuine edge from Eskenazi there. Ball just keeping a little low, I think, off the pitch, getting the sort of the outside half on the toe, but enough to run away. Needs to be welcome runs for Middlesex. This pair have been very watchful so far this morning.
As you can see, Eskenazi 21 of that partnership, so he was 13 in the partnership with Holman on 28 prior to those back-to-back boundaries. The edge to begin as well, but he's been quite clear in his mind this morning as the way he's going about this. It's been tight, it's been solid, sheer determination. Again, it's been watchful, hasn't it, from Eskenazi? Not going too hard at it.
I just think Middlesex will be delighted not to have given Kent any joy so far in this first session of the final day, making Kent work hard for any reward that they might get. 7 wickets they're looking for, but Middlesex doing the business at the moment. The ball now nearly 46 overs old. It was around this time on day 2 that I sort of felt that there might have been a hint of reverse swing for Middlesex. They didn't really make the most of it.
Back boundaries to begin the over, but 4 dots to finish it. 126 for 3.
Ben Compton, the man under the helmet at short leg when Luke Holman's facing, and it's those footmarks that we've been talking outside the off stump. If Holman does try and push forward there, looking to try and get the inside edge and get Compton into the game.
Think about a couple, back they come. Comfortably so.
That's the line Parkinson's looking for, just to drop a little too short on that occasion, and there's lots of space there for Holman to play into. Just wants to push it a little fuller. Just there. That's what Parkinson wants. Played well by Holman in the end. I think covered up, used the gloves, but that's what Kent are hoping for.
I think Eskenazi will be able to do Holman a favour here, not to take the strike from one end, but just keep ticking the strike over, look for those singles, don't let Parkinson settle in against Holman. Holman will be absolutely determined not to get out to a fellow wrist spinner for a second time in the game. But as one of the local residents here at St John's Woods would say, little help from his friends. Look over the back of the grandstand there. Paul McCartney. Keeps a fraction low. Well played by Holman. He's done well to get back on that. Oh, now the ball before puts some doubt in his mind. Oh, it's done, Kashif Ali. Boundary for Holman, but very nearly a chance for Kent.
Testing couple of deliveries there for Holman, and the scorecard will just register 4 runs to his name, but the ball before on the back foot to one that did keep a little bit low. He'd have been mightily frustrated if that had snuck through. He's really got to be watchful around that off stump and maybe trying to get his foot forward to smother the spin, or take the other option and get the sweep out, which he did on the second occasion, but the top edge almost flying away towards Kashif Ali in the deep. In the end, everyone says watch the spin, but it doesn't really help you when you're out on the boundary and having to stop it yourself. He was completely done by the little bit of grip in the surface, and it spun away for 4, but I should think Matt Parker's going to be very happy to see the way that Luke Holman played those last 2 deliveries, creating a little bit of doubt in his mind as a third slip goes back in then for Kashif Ali against Eskenazi. And I do really like this approach from Kent, because we saw in the previous over a couple of outside edges from Eskenazi that ran away for 4, got him a pair of boundaries, and they could easily have plugged that gap with a third man just to try and stop the runs, but they've decided to plug it with an extra catcher. They're taking the positive approach, which I like to see from Kent. Still got plenty of runs to play with in the hunt for these 7 wickets, and a third man is only going to stem the flow of runs, not going to help with trying to take those wickets. So this is a positive move by Jack Leaning, who's pulling the strings out there at the moment.
Is a positive move, and I don't think they'll be anywhere near nervous yet. But Kent would have been pretty strong favourites coming into this final day, I'd fancy, especially after what happened down at Canterbury. Pressure on Middlesex. It's been a bit in the surface for the bowlers throughout, but 230 more. I remember one of the 3 down is a night watch. 2 set batters now. Crucially as well, a ball approaching the 50th over. Do need a breakthrough, and as you say, right and positive to go at them with the 3rd slip. Short. A single for Holman. There was a 3rd catcher in there just out of shot for Holman as well, around towards gully. But yeah, sun out. Ball approaching its 50th over. If they can get through to lunch, get that ball nearly through to 60 overs. into their third and fourth spells. They'll be doing a big favour as well for Higgins and Geddes to just tire the bowlers a little bit more and again put some overs on that ball. They will get the second new ball at around about what, tea time today? Just a little bit before maybe. Middlesex will know just how big a game this is for them. They'll overstate things this early in the season with 2 defeats to Kent, one of the sides that they'll know they have to finish above. Leicestershire going strong at the top. Lancashire will surely come good at some point. Of course, undefeated Derbyshire making a little bit of noise as well. End of the over, just a couple of singles off it. 229 more needed. 136 for 3. Middlesex.
Just see a lot of arm waving out there in the field for Kent. Lots of suggestions about exactly where this field should be placed for Parkinson. I think this is a great contest at the moment. The 2 leg spinners in either team up against each other. It's a real challenge, I think, for Luke Holman. 2 close catches. Some footholds to consider. And it really is all about picking up that length. Parkinson happy to see him on the back foot, one would suspect. Maybe try and push one through a little quicker if he can.
Oh dear. It's toe end of the bat again, isn't it? For sure. It's nicely played. Off the front foot. Crucially, I think, for Holman here, it feels as though if he plays back too much, there's going to be one that will get him in real trouble. But then this is a big part of it. Can the right-handed Eskenazi suck up some of the pressure from Parkinson? No left arm seamers in this game, not too much around the wicket, as you can see from the footmarks. Different game to the right-hander. Still at this point just about favour Kent, because you put 2 wickets on the board now, and well, whether it was opening and end or both of them falling, there's an awful lot still to score. 228. Half an hour before lunch. If both of these make it to the interval for Middlesex, then it really would be starting to move towards the balance. End of the over, single off it. And for 15 off his 7, Parkinson. Middlesex 137 for 3.
Yeah, Parkinson just struggling a little bit with his length in that over. A couple of balls dropping a little too short, giving Holman an easy out to rotate the strike. That's always the beauty of it. The spinner having to put all the pace on it yourselves. You have to having to play the shot to keep the scoreboard moving. Gonna be another change in the bowling then from the nursery end, with Richards replacing Kashif Ali.
Just 7 overs in the match.
Yet to pick up a wicket, Jamal Richards.
First bowl at the nursery end as well. And then for 21 in the first innings from 3 overs. And he also sprayed it with 2 sets of byes that went for 4. So it was effectively a none for 30 spell off those 3. Quickly whipped out of the attack. He started well. First couple of overs, cheap ones, 4 that he's had in the second dig, but then took a bit of tap in the last 2. So it's a big move this from Kent. Just before lunch on the final day, the 21-year-old on loan from Essex. Crucial runs in the match. Buoyed his confidence. Oh, and that's a good start as well. Draws Holden into it, holds the bat behind the back. He knows that was a naughty shot. That's gone as well off the surface. It's too wide though to be playing at from Holman's point of view, but seaming the first one up the slope. That's closer to him. That's a very good stop at cover. Compton saving 4.
Just 21 years old, Jamal Richards, making his championship debut as well. He has played 1 first-class match previously. That was a game against Ireland at Chelmsford a couple of years ago. So this is his first bow in the county championship at the home of cricket. So a big few days for him.
Just drawing Holman into it outside the off stump here, isn't he? Round arm release.
Yeah, very round arm, sort of slingy action, coming from wide on the crease as well, so probably a slightly unusual place for Holman to see the ball released.
Somerset win. Yeah, he's Essex by 3 wickets this morning. Grew with the ton for the Taunton-based county. Essex's own Richards. A little bit of fun with the ball in this one. He's had some fun with the bat. Might be his only outing for Kent. Number of injuries that they've got. Fancy a few back. Good start. Second maiden in his 5, number 23, Middlesex. 137 for 3.
It's a good win that for Somerset. Had a very difficult week last week against Surrey at the Oval. So they've come back well. Hundreds for Root, 100 for Jordan Cox as well, but injury issues for him again after getting that 100. Retired hurt with a broken finger, I think.
Oh dear, Eskenazi at the non-striker's end. Mate, I've done a hamstring. He did this a couple of years ago against Leicestershire. Oh, more up towards the lower back, isn't it? I see it, sciatica at the top of the hip there.
Yeah, holding the lower back didn't look like it was the hamstring as he pushed off for that single, but clutching or holding his lower back, and now in clear and obvious agony, lying on the turf with the opposition gathered round him. Looks in a lot of pain there, Eskenazi, almost in a fetal position as he waits for the Middlesex physio to get out there. Clearly in a lot of discomfort. Nobody really sure what to do at the moment, waiting for the medic.
Pete Waxman, Middlesex physio, just about to arrive on the scene, and 20 minutes before lunch. It's a long way to go until the interval still, isn't it? Yeah, just above that left hip, isn't it? Oh dear, it hurts a lot. He's going to get him up, get him moving. St John's ambulance as well, helping to lift him up. Oh dear, that is not good news for Eskenazi or for Middlesex, obviously, but your first thoughts for the individual, of course. He's coming off. It was innocuous to begin, wasn't it? But sharp pain clearly just went through that lower back. Jarred something perhaps, top of the hip. Well, there's almost a knowing nod about it, isn't there, from the physio? That they have identified pretty quickly what it is, and off he comes.
Yeah, it's a really sad sight to see a player who is right in the middle of their innings, looking good, forced to leave the field. And you're right, it looked like the physio knew exactly what the issue was. Eskenazi lay prone at the non-striker's end in absolute agony. I thought they might have to get the stretcher out because he looked to be unable to move while he was left to his devices. The physio slightly practically perhaps just told him to get up and and make his way off, suggesting that perhaps it's not a hugely serious in terms of damage that he's done. It looks like he really knows what the issue is, and he's not going to do any more damage in walking off. So slight difference of opinion, I think, as Eskenazi marched off by the physio. But it does mean that there's a new batter out in the middle, Ryan Higgins joining Luke Holman. That's exactly what Kent wanted to see, but they didn't want it to happen this way.
Yeah, mobility is so often the key with the back, isn't it? Leg injuries, indeed neck or anything else, it's alright, get the stretcher out, but with the back, you have to keep it moving, don't you? And the physio, as you say, was quite happy to actually drag him up. Right, let's get you up and get you moving, but there was no doubt about it. There was no conversation about would there be a runner or anything. It was clearly a sharp pain, wasn't it? Oh, Holman, inside edge on the back foot, going back again. That's where he's looked in trouble.
Really got to pick the length here from Parkinson. That's where Holman's had some trouble so far.
One side's misfortune for Kent. Ryan Higgins coming up the lower back at the non-striker's end there. They're going to get a go at him 15 minutes before lunch. Parkinson's going to get a go at him now. Big moment in this game. They've got a door open, not the way that any of us fancied it may happen, certainly not the way Eskenazi would have wanted it to. Inside edge. It's that kind of day, isn't it? Feel for everything.
Thick inside edge there onto the pad. We've seen that happen a couple of times so far, but it has in no way diminished the enthusiasm of the appeal from Matt Parkinson or his keeper and slip. Umpires, though, not interested, quite rightly so. But a good first delivery to give to Ryan Higgins, just already put a little bit of doubt in his mind. So 15 minutes before lunch. And Luke Holman, the set batter, 38 not out, has looked pretty good throughout this fourth and final day. But he's got to make sure that he introduces Ryan Higgins to the middle. Just make sure that Middlesex don't do what they did on day two. They lost 3 very quick wickets in succession once Ben Geddes was dismissed, and that rather took the wind out of their sails of their first innings. So Holman would have learnt from that, and now just wanting to make sure that Kent don't feel any more joy here.
This will help ease Richards into it on this final day. It's just got pretty gloomy here as well. Lunch only 15 minutes away. Overheads thickened up Right in the distance there.
Ryan Higgins top scored, not for the first time for Middlesex in the first innings. 54 he made.
Yeah, and the runs in the follow-on as well at Derbyshire. Higgins to save that game after the big start by Eskenazi as well. Oh, now just gets bat on that. Only just. Richards nearly in with his first class championship wicket. Oh, goodness me. What a wicket it would have been, and what a time as well it would have been. A little late on the appeal. Those behind the stumps are up early. Umpire Bailey. It's not for fooling. Oh, that's sprayed. And it'll go down as wides. I was going to say it'll go down as buys. Sends it down the slope from around the wicket. Got away with it a couple of times in the first innings, and it went against poor old Benjamin. Yeah, that's flown. That's flown a long way down. It's not factored in the slope there.
No, he hasn't. But it's one of those things when you look at where he's bowling the ball from, in order for him to bowl a real bouncer,
over 146 for 3.
In order for him to bowl a bouncer, he really has almost got to bowl the ball right on his own toes. If you see how short that one was, to get it up around head height. We've said he's got that slingy sidearm action, so it's not coming from a particularly high release point. He's not a particularly tall man in terms of fast bowler, so he's really got to dig it in short, and that one just fired away down the leg side and 3 runs.
A spit of rain in the air. As you can see, it's broken cloud behind us in the media centre. Middlesex would happily take lunch now, wouldn't they? There is rain in the air. We can see it from here now, and that is going to be lunch. It's probably come at a good time, that, for Middlesex. The new batter, Higgins, still 10 minutes to go before the interval. Eskenazi gone off injured. Holman 39 from 83. Outstanding from him. Higgins just gets through. Higgins just gets through to the interval. 4 deliveries faced. Well, indeed, Richards very that's going to be lunch here at Lord's on the final day. Let's hope that the weather's being kind to cricket in this one, that the rain arrives at the interval. We are expecting a shower or so around today. Should be taken at this point. Tea. Some heavy winds, but the hot cover just rolls on at the bottom of the screen there. That will be lunch. We'll be back hopefully in just under 40 minutes. Straight Middlesex in association with Alphabet alongside myself, Kevin Henry, in the commentary of this final day. Eskenazi's injury cuts down a bit for Middlesex. So very much coming back into this one now. 2:19 morning.
He has! What a catch! Edge gone first ball, second slip takes the catch.
Got him, he has. Oh, wow. Now, that is some pickup shot.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. All new experiences for everyone. All over the country. Every session is all out action. All the time. All welcome, all invited. Even mums and dads. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. All you need is delivered right to your door. Best of all, it even has your name on it. All the activators are fully trained. And all they want is for us to have a great time. Always. Have ball. Catch. Throw. Try it all. It's time to go all in, all together. And it all starts with All Stars. All you need to get started is at allstarscricket.co.uk.
Power your play this holiday at Dynamo's Cricket.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Lords. The rain has passed on its way, and we're going to have a prompt restart here. 2 overs lost this morning with the delay by 10 minutes start time, but no overs lost at lunch. So still 71 to go. And it's going to be Ryan Higgins on strike. Parkinson to bowl. Oh, well, that would have been quite the start after lunch.
It was a quick single, well, not a quick single, it was a single that Stevie Eskenazi set off for that brought him asunder just before the break. Ryan Higgins there looking to put a bit of energy into proceedings right from the word go.
This was a fun matchup with Luke Holman. Parkinson around the wicket, targeting those footmarks outside the off stump. Yeah, he was just on the back foot a little too often, wasn't he, this morning? Luke Holman to Parkinson, but nicely plunging forward with that one.
Yeah, you've just got to look out for those footmarks outside the off stump. Ball turning quite significantly out of them.
Top ball 20 over, 147 for 3, 218 further runs required for Middlesex, being led by their number 4 at the moment, Luke Holman. There's also Stephen Eskenazi, who's gone off, retired not out, with a back spasm, we're told, which is a real blow. He was looking really good on 39, Eskenazi. Higgins on 2, Holman on 39, and over to the rest to get on with it then for Middlesex. The live enhanced stream here at Lords in association with Daffabet. I'm Kevin Hands, alongside me Dean Wilson.
Yeah, Stevie Eskenazi batted very nicely alongside Holman in the first session, but back spasm forcing him off the field. He's being worked on by the physio, so we'll see what comes of that, but the only thing that matters now is how Ryan Higgins deals with George Garrett.
There's one way. Get inside and clip him fine. First boundary for Higgins, 150 up for Middlesex.
Yeah, just nip him back in towards Higgins. It's that consistent, that movement that we've seen off this pitch all game. The ball has managed to nip both up and down the slope. This one nipping back up the slope towards Higgins and just flicked off the hip away. Ryan Higgins, who did a good job while it lasted in the first innings with his third half century of the season, could do with something similar here and then maybe a few more.
If you look over the back of the Edgeridge. straight line he took that one from.
And there has been a little bit of variable bounce on occasions. This one doesn't get up at all, and Higgins does well to get the bat on it. Certainly would have asked the question had he not.
Had that one early on, didn't he, from Richards? I say early on, he's only been out there 9 deliveries, but Richards very nearly got one through, didn't he? He's got the outside toe end of the bat on it. So game sweeping down from outside the off stump, squared up by it.
But it really makes a difference when the ball is being released from where George Garrett does. He's a taller bowler. You expect the ball to bounce fairly well from him, and so when it does keep a little low, it can catch you by surprise. Wicketkeeper coming up to the stumps though.
Behind it to end the over. 151 for 3.
It's good to see Benjamin coming up to the stumps there just to keep Higgins in his crease. It was one of the features of Daniel Bell-Drummond's innings, his magnificent double 100 from Bell-Drummond, and he liked to come out of the crease, but the keeper didn't come up to the stumps too often to keep him back, as we see a trio of Middlesex players head round the boundary.
Cornwell and Helm and Careys. Cornwell, the left arm seamer. Helm returning to fitness, and Careys battling for his place back into the side. Outside the off stump.
And this is the contest that really caught my eye before the break. How Holman was looking to play Parkinson.
Sweeping hard. Sweeping for 4. Holman's into the 40s. Overtakes his first innings total of 42.
That's really well played from Luke Holman. He had a couple of very similar deliveries before the break where he got himself into a bit of a tangle pushing forward.
Then he goes back again. Leg byes will be signalled.
Sorry, he had a couple of balls where he struggled to perhaps pick up the length, where he went back to a ball that maybe he could have gone forward to, and then he tried the sweep and he got a top edge that was uppish for quite some time out towards the boundary. And even though he got 4 for it, I think Matt Parkinson was feeling pretty happy about things, but 2 much more confident looking strokes there from Holman, the forward defensive, and then the sweep all along the ground. Good contest.
Byes, not leg byes, for Holman. That one there, you go, look, it's making a little signal. He'll be working it all out, won't he? 157 for 3. Missed out there, Higgins. Looking through square leg, fielded at mid wicket. He was done by that one in the first dig, wasn't he? Missed a straight one, really. Top of middle.